We use we use tener expressions in order to state emotions or conditions that in English we would normally, once again, use to be. Okay? So, once again, you do not have anything. Okay? But these are ways that you are feeling, and we use tener. And so, once again, if your brain can't handle it, I suppose you can, because you have this particular feeling or sensation as opposed to being the thing. So, for example, the first one, tener calor is to be hot. Okay? Now, some people will ask, well, Santos, why isn't it like estoy caliente? Because caliente means hot, and then to be is estar or soy caliente. Number one, because saying estoy caliente means that you're horny, you're desirous for someone. Okay, number one. Number two, we use estar with tactile heat. Okay, so if somebody brings out like a plate at a restaurant fresh from the kitchen, you would say, be careful, está caliente. Okay, it is hot to the touch. Okay, whereas, and I apologize, I don't know a simpler word, ambient heat, like the air, that is tener, calor. Okay, so tener is for ambient, the environment. Estar is for tactile. All right, and then of course, in slang or colloquial, it's to have sexual desire for someone. All right, type of thing. Okay, so tengo calor. Okay, actually I do un poquito. It got warmer since I put on the hoodie. So tengo, calor. I'm a little bit hot. Okay, or maybe now that it's getting warmer outside, oh yeah, tengo calor. Okay. The next one, tener celos, to be jealous. Okay. Tener éxito, to be successful. Okay. And of course, it goes for this one as well, tener frío, to be cold. Okay. No, it's not estoy frío. Okay. Although that could mean that you're like a very cold person, like you're not very friendly, all right, type of thing, like your personality. Okay. But once again, it has to do with tactile. So, you take something out of the freezer and you would say, ooh, está frío. Okay. Or, those days back in January when it was below zero, you go out to touch something, está frío. Okay. But how you feel because of the air temperature, the ambient temperature, it's tengo frío. All right. And also, what Santos has right now, I would not say tengo un frío, I have a cold. In Spanish, the word for a cold is the disease, is different. Okay. I can say estoy enfermo, I'm sick. In Mexico, we would say tengo catarro, I have a cold, or an upper respiratory, nasal, and pulmonary infection. That's what it is. All right, type of thing. Okay. Tener hambre, to be hungry. Okay. I had a snack before, so no tengo hambre. But, I hear, Aiden's stomach rumbling, so I might say, Aiden, ¿tienes hambre? Are you hungry? And he could say, sí. Okay. Tener miedo, to be scared or to be afraid. Okay. If you add the word de, then you're saying to be afraid of, and then you have to add the thing that you're scared of. Okay, so if it's just a general feeling, tengo miedo. If you're scared of something, tengo miedo de Chucky, from the movies, right? The living doll that kills you. So tengo miedo de Chucky. Okay. Tener paciencia, to be patient. Okay. Tener prisa, to be in a hurry. Okay. Tener razón, to be right. Okay. Now, some people might say, well, why can't I say, estoy correcto or está correcto? You can, but in this chapter we're learning tener, so you need to use the tener expression, okay? So if I ask Lexi, ¿qué es libro in inglés? And she says book, okay, sí, tienes razón, okay? And while, once again, I can say estás correcta, that's not what we're learning, okay? We are learning tener razón, okay? Now, even though it's not there, if I were to add no to it, no tienes razón, if she said chair for libro, and I say, Lexi, no tienes razón, what would that mean? You're not right, or easier, you're wrong, okay? Yeah, so no tener razón, to be wrong, okay? Sorry, Lexi, no tienes razón. You are not correct, or you are wrong. Tener sed, to be thirsty. And then tener sueño is either to be tired or to be sleepy. It depends on where you are. To me, tener sueño means to be sleepy. To be tired for me is a different expression. So thank you, Aiden. Aiden just yawned. So I can just say, oh, Aiden, ¿tienes sueño? Are you sleepy? And he could say, poquito, all right, just a little bit, I'm a little sleepy, okay? Which leads us to the next thing, even though it's not quite there, okay? But with some of these, like, if you add either mucho or mucha, it becomes very, okay? So, tengo mucha sed. For some reason, thirst is considered feminine. I'm very thirsty. So is hunger. Tengo mucha hambre. I'm very hungry. But heat and cold are considered masculine. So tengo mucho calor. I'm very hot. Or tengo mucho frío. I'm very cold. Okay? Fear is also masculine. Tengo mucho miedo. I'm very scared. Okay? Patience is feminine. Tengo mucha paciencia. All right? Tengo mucha prisa. I'm in a big hurry. I guess it could be a very hurry, but no. I'm in a big hurry. Okay? A big rush. All right? Type of thing. All right? Preguntas on those. Number one, you need to know the meanings, so it's basically more vocabulary. You need to know what each of those expressions means. And numero dos, you need to be able to, change it from tener into whatever. So if Levi is hungry, he should be able to change it to tango and tengo hambre, okay? If Mason back there is getting bored and he's tired, tengo sueño, and once again, if I see Emma yawning, tienes sueño, Emma? Are you sleepy? Are you tired? Okay. Or I see, Lexi here drinking down whatever she has and then going back and getting more water or something. I'm like, oh wow, tienes sed? Are you thirsty? She could say, tengo mucha sed. I am very thirsty. Okay? Okay. Dos más. Okay? And these have to do with, the next one is a desire. Okay? You feel like doing something. Okay? Once again, you're using tener. Ganas de and then whatever it is that you feel like doing. Okay? Tengo ganas de dormir. I feel like sleeping. Okay? I know. Oh gosh. All right. Yeah. I might let you guys out early today. Tengo ganas de comer. I feel like eating. I have the munchies. Okay? Tengo ganas de mirar Netflix. I feel like watching something on Netflix. Okay? So whatever it is that you feel like doing, because this is considered, technically it's a verb phrase. Okay? All of this is the verb. Because you are changing tener, remember that the second verb you would do nothing to. So I'm just going to write like to sleep. Tengo ganas de dormir. You would just leave it how it is. Tengo ganas de mirar una película. I feel like watching a movie. Okay? So you would just leave the verb alone. Okay? The last one, obligations. Okay? If there's something that you have to do, it's tener, que, and then whatever it is that you have to do. Okay? Once again, you would be changing tener. Okay, and then whatever thing that you have to do. Okay, so somebody asks, Jacque to go out next Monday night. Okay, go out, get a couple drinks or whatever, and he's like, oh man, I can't, because he remembered that next Tuesday he does have a test. Tengo que estudiar. What would tengo que estudiar be? I have to study. Oh man, no, I have to study. Okay? Or, I asked Levi to hang out tomorrow, whatever, and he's just like, oh, Señor Santos, no. Tengo que trabajar. What is tengo que trabajar? I have to work. Yeah, lo siento. Maybe another time. Okay? So when you have a commitment already, or when you have an obligation, okay? Preguntas on those. Sí.
Necesito or necesitar or whatever, like I need to do something, is that also like?
Yeah, but once again, we're learning tener. But yes, you can say necesito. I would say necesito que trabajar, but in other countries, it would just be necesito trabajar type of thing. So, but yeah, okay. But like I said, we're learning this one, okay? So if you put necesito on the test, Emma, I'll give you partial credit. Okay, then,